Hare Krishna, Vishwa Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Almost 5,250 years ago, Lord Sri Krishna advented into this material world. The year was Viswavasu. About 4,700 years later, Lord Krishna again came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The year 1486 AD again was Viswavasu. More than 4 centuries later, Srila Prabhupada set foot in America. The year 1965 was again Viswavasu. And 60 years later, on 16th of May 2025, the Supreme Court of India ruled in favor of ISKCON Bangalore. The year again was Viswavasu. Ignoring all the divine portents, the agents of the unauthorized gurus of ISKCON Mumbai group, in an act of desperation, reviewed the Supreme Court order. To recall the truth, in May of 1977, the GBC asked Srila Prabhupada how initiations would go on in ISKCON, particularly after his disappearance. Srila Prabhupada made them ritviks, his representatives, and Srila Prabhupada himself remained the Diksha Guru for ISKCON. Unfortunately, after Srila Prabhupada's disappearance in November 1977, Guru ambition overcame Guru devotion, and in March 1978, the GBC falsely declared that 11 devotees had been appointed by Srila Prabhupada as Diksha Gurus. That was a defining moment, a moment that defined the character of the GBC of ISKCON Mumbai. You give them an inch, they will take a mile. Srila Prabhupada offered them the position of ritviks. They unlawfully snatched the position of Diksha Guru from Srila Prabhupada. Over the years, they ruthlessly crushed all opposition to their unauthorized guru system and coerced, threatened, and bribed devotees into submission. Those who did not fall in line were excommunicated, expelled, and banned. So, in 1999, when the devotees of ISKCON Bangalore, headed by His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu, took up the matter of unauthorized gurus with the GBC of the ISKCON Mumbai group, the GBC summarily expelled the devotees. Left with no other option, the devotees of ISKCON Bangalore took shelter of the law of the land and approached the Sessions Court in Bangalore in the year 2000. The case took its course, and finally, the Supreme Court of India ruled that the Bangalore temple belonged to ISKCON Bangalore. There was no case of fraud which is made out on Madhu Pandit Prabhu or anybody else in ISKCON Bangalore. ISKCON Mumbai had no jurisdiction to expel anyone from the Bangalore temple. While the legal battle took 25 years, ISKCON Bangalore grew from one temple with 40 devotees to more than 50 centers globally with nearly 1,500 full-time missionaries, almost 3,000 initiated congregation devotees, and many more thousands of serious practitioners of Krishna consciousness. Unable to stomach the success that Srila Prabhupada had bestowed upon the devotees of ISKCON Bangalore for rigidly following Srila Prabhupada's July 9th order, the Ritvik system of initiations, the GBC decided to review the Supreme Court order. Probably ISKCON Mumbai's GBC could hear the death knell for their unauthorized guru system when they saw the unexpected rise of the Ritvik system of initiations led from the front by ISKCON Bangalore, and that could explain their desperation to review the Supreme Court order. Naturally, they had become desperate. When this petition came up for hearing on 3rd December 2025, the judges heard ISKCON Mumbai's submissions, and then, as is natural, they granted time for ISKCON Bangalore's advocate to file a reply. And the Supreme Court judges said that they would again hear whether to admit the petition or not in the 3rd week of January 2026. But you know the GBC of ISKCON Mumbai group too well. You give them an inch, they will grab a mile. They immediately went into overdrive, spreading the false information, misguiding the media that the Supreme Court had admitted their review petition and the Supreme Court would revisit the ruling itself. Nothing could be further from the truth. But that is their wont. Give them an inch, they will snatch a mile. Not only that, they even started spreading the falsity that Akshaya Patra is their program. In fact, in the year 2000, when ISKCON Bangalore started the Akshaya Patra program, the GBC of ISKCON Mumbai group organized several seminars deriding Akshaya Patra, declaring that it is not food for life, but it is food for death. And today, they claim that Akshaya Patra is their program. In fact, their flagship program. When did Food for Death become their flagship program? I don't think even Krishna knows that. If someone wants to learn about shameless hypocrisy, they can take a masterclass from ISKCON Mumbai's GBC. But then remember, give them an inch, they will plunder a mile. Just because the Supreme Court gave time to ISKCON Bangalore's advocates to file their response to ISKCON Mumbai's review petition, ISKCON Mumbai group are now spreading the false narrative that there were financial irregularities conducted by His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu, and that is why he carried out large-scale fraud and manipulation. Give them an inch and they will loot a mile. They are the ones who carried out large-scale fraud and manipulation, snatching away Srila Prabhupada's position of Diksha Guru and appropriating it for themselves. And they now insinuate falsely that His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu committed fraud, just because he was the one who stood up for Srila Prabhupada's rtvik system of initiations, and he refused to submit to their fraud and manipulation and their attempts to bribe him with the position of Diksha Guru.
The GBC of ISKCON Mumbai continue to shelter and allow widespread women abuse and child sexual abuse by their unauthorized gurus who keep falling from grace in abominable ways, getting into drugs, illicit sex, hoarding illegal weapons and the like, and they cast aspersions on someone like His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu, who has an impeccable record.
He exposed them, and they are now hitting below the belt to somehow silence the big truth that they are unauthorized to be Diksha Gurus.
In fact, ISKCON Mumbai is infamous for its legal vendetta against those who oppose their unauthorized guru system. Recently, you may remember, they were slammed by the Supreme Court for filing false criminal cases against His Grace Madhu Pandit Prabhu. The Supreme Court said about ISKCON Mumbai, global spiritual leaders engaging in frivolous litigations to settle personal scores, and imposed a 100,000 rupees fine on ISKCON Mumbai.
So, let us not be misled by the machinations of the GBC of ISKCON Mumbai group. Let us keep our faith in Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, and truth will prevail. Srila Prabhupada's July 9th order to implement rtvik initiations in ISKCON will prevail. Hare Krishna, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.